All right, protecting here is your final question. Protecting Jamaica. We expect further pushback on this bill, or do you expect it to um, stride through? Do you expect any further obstruction?
The bill will pass, neighbor.
Yes.
My concern is not obstruction to the process to get it passed. As I've shared with you about 2-3 weeks now, that this term we're going to see the fight continue, and we're even going to see it picked up a notch because they have more voices now to make noise, and this is all the PMP knows. So NARA will pass, NARA will come into effect.
Thank you, Lorna. Go ahead.
The building back, the reconstruction, or the building forward will get underway. But it is the constant nitpicking of the PMP that I have concerns about. I am sure along the way, just like Peter Bunting, before the election and even a little while before, said that he was a prophet. And what was his prophecy? Contracts will be given out and they will go to a Chinese company. I mean, as if that was anything. These companies come with the capacity to help us to improve our infrastructure. They come with the capacity to build that scale. Now, I know how the Jamaica Master Builders Association is set up. I know the current leader and I know the former leader, Carville Stewart, and now the current leader, Mr. Monday. And I know that they are comrades. And as Aluna Samba said, that they make sure that these bodies speak on the PMP's behalf. Basically, in a nutshell, that's what you were saying. Now, I expect going forward, anything happens, because NARA is a new body. It is going to take some, doing for it to find its footing before it is fermented and cured and become fine wine. So along the way, there might be one and two challenges, and every step of the way I can guarantee you, the PMP will say, see that we did tell us that this will go happen or that will go happen. It's going to be empty. Because at the end of the day, knowing Dr. Andrew Holness, he's not going to stop because he knows that what he's doing is the right thing to do, and he knows that how he's approaching it is the right way to approach it. And he knows that at the back end of all this, when the buildings are completed and all, that it will only redound to another victory for the JLP. You know what else, neighbor?
Yes.
I don't know if Jamaicans realize that there are only 2 planned cities in Jamaica, the entire Jamaica. As much as you see downtown are separated by blocks and so on, for the better part of it, especially the business district. Downtown Kingston was only inhabited because of the earthquake in Port Royal, And so in 1692, the people drift further west or southwest, and they ended up in Kingston. That's how Kingston came about. It wasn't planned. The only planned part of Kingston is New Kingston. Who planned it? The JLP, Edward Seaga, planned it and commenced the building out of it. It wasn't completed in his time, but he planned that city. Let us talk about Portmore. In the 60s, again, Portmore was planned, and the execution of that plan had commenced. Who planned it? The JLP and Edward Seaga. The Prime Minister just spoke a few months back about the 15th parish. Jamaica and Jamaica's government has never gotten the opportunity to establish a new parish. The last set of parishes were established by colonial government.
Yes.
And so it is this government who is intent and establishing the 15th parish.
That's a 2-year process.
And it is very instructive for us to note, neighbor, and I know a lot of people are learning some things here, that this NARA bill will be taking on some planned developments. We're going to at least get one city out of NARA, and we're going to get improved parishes out of NARA, infrastructurally and in other ways. However, and this is significant, and all I said,
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
They've never done anything significant in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Oh jeez. At this very important juncture. You hearing me, neighbor?
Yes, coming back now.
Yes. So the PMP knows that NARA is going to push the Jamaica Labour Party again at the forefront of history, and they are going to do everything to stop it.
Uh-huh.
There is nothing sensible in Jamaica that the PMP can point to, and I mean it.
Uh-huh.
I mean it, and I always make reference to Highway 2000. It was planned by Edward Seaga in 1967 as the Spanish Town bypass to take traffic out of Spanish Town and Wolaba.
Yeah.
The same route to Mandeville now. The plan was left there at the UDC that Edward Seaga created the UDC. I mean, that has Edward Seaga not created. And then the Transport Center for Halfway Tree, it was another design and plan by the JLP and Edward Seaga. So the PMP knows that what the NARA is going to do is to write them out of history completely, neighbor. And they do not want that, because they know that politically it is not going to be good for them.
My understanding is that the minister is saying that if the bill goes to committee, it will take 2 years. Is that so, protecting?
It was another design.
Huh?
The minister did not say that.
Oh, what did he say, Minister Morgan?
No. Yes, if it goes to the Joint Select Committee, then what they will do is drag it out. So it might take 2 years, 5 years. And that's what they want. That's why they're asking for a Joint Select Committee. The bill will go to committee next week, and we need to understand the different committees of the Parliament. So after the debate is completed next week, Tuesday, then you have to go to the committee stage where you no longer have the speaker presiding over that. Now the speaker becomes chair of that committee to consider the bill clause by clause.
Uh-huh.
And whichever clause, if they want to change a word, where they call amendment, or they want to change a line or a sentence, because in law, the letter of the law is important in law, which means the language of the law. So one word might want change because interchangeably words might mean different things, and it might make law appear differently. So there's a committee that will be assembled at the end of the debate on Tuesday to consider the bill clause by clause before the vote is done on the bill. So yes, that's a committee. But if it goes to a Joint Select Committee, which is what Margolin is asking for, once you commit to a Joint Select Committee and it goes there, them can draw it out all 5 years, which is the intention that they have. That's why they have been asking for that. Send it to a Joint Select Committee, and then every time you have a committee meeting, them have a problem. And you have to subject the bill to whatever issue them have and go through it again and go through it again and go through it again. And you might have 3, 4, 5 years and nothing gets done. The government knows this, and the government knows their tactics. And their tactic is to delay it because, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. They know that NARA and the infrastructures that NARA will be undertaking and completing is going to be the death knell of the PMP.
They know, the opposition knows this.
They know this, neighbor. They know that once NARA is in full force, with especially this new speed that they will approach the development with. Once this is done, the PMP knows that the new Black River, where everything removed from the coastline and go further inland and a new city emerges, they know that in a 4 years' time, this will reach almost completion because everything now got done. But like the bridges, the roads, and the schools and all the other infrastructure, them can done in a 3-4 years, but them know that the rebuilding of a city is not going to be completed, and they know that politically they will not be able to stand up against this because of the government will do it, or the group of people will do all this newness in Jamaica. The people are going to reward for bringing Jamaica into the 21st and 22nd century, and they do not want it to happen. Yes, they're fighting. They know that they're fighting a losing battle. But today, they are depending on the Gleaner to help them fight this battle. And you mentioned the article that was written by such person. But I think it was yesterday, neighbor, that the Gleaner RGR group wrote to its employees and contractors that them cannot pay the pay bill this month.
Yes, well, they said that they were having some technical problems.
No. They can't pay the pay bill this month. Okay, so they're depending on these people where the staff is disgruntled, and we saw about August last year, at the first me ever see that, where the Gleaner staff stand up out in front of the Gleaner office on North Street and a protest for them pay.
Wow.
They do not have no money, and they're depending on these people. And Mark Golding's best friend is in the Gleaner, destroying the Gleaner, trying to save the PMP. But the PMP cannot be saved. The PMP had 18 and a half years to save itself, and it didn't. Nobody can save them now. And so, NARA people, don't listen to the PMP. NARA is going to be a part of the machinery that takes us into where we should have been for all the time that PMP spent in power. First world. And that is what the discussion needs to be surrounding now. When we talk about this, we need to consider Jamaica first world.
Wow.
And that may start talking about Jamaica as first world to the flipping world. Good night, listeners. Good night, neighbor.
Take care of yourself. Have a great day tomorrow, sir.
A good night over YouTube. Harry, bless up yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, protecting.
Okay. Fantastic.